Welcome to this morning's session. My goal today in the short time that I have up on stage this morning is to, as Scott said, kind of show you some of the bells and whistles and some of the really cool features that are coming in the Tempo 5 system. Now, whenever we change, and again, there's the key word, change from one thing to another, people get a little nervous and they think that they're not going to be able to get it or they'll get lost on it. Well, yeah, there is going to be change. I will admit that. But the change that you're going to see in Tempo 5 is going to hopefully make you more productive. It's going to make you work faster, better, stronger. And it's going to allow you to do some things that you wish you could have done in Tempo 4, but you never were able to do. So with that being said, what can you look forward to in Tempo 5? Well, first of all, when you log into the Tempo 5 system the first time, what you're going to see is a totally new redesigned homepage look. And the homepage is the area where you go after you log in. And the homepage is made up of a lot of different sections, and we're going to talk about some of those in just a minute. But the first thing I want you to notice is that the top of that page, the icons across the top where you have the add, edit, listings, the search, and so on, those are the same icons that you currently have in Tempo 4 today. So if you know where to go for a search in Tempo 4, find the search icon in Tempo 5, and you'll go back to a search again. So we've already taught you one thing that is familiar as what you know today. The rest of the screen has a lot of different parts to it, and some of those parts are going to make your life a little bit easier. On the left-hand side of that screen, on the top, you're going to have an area called Matches. And for the folks that work with prospects in this room today, that's going to be your favorite part of the system because that's going to, first of all, tell you how many prospect matches you have when you log in. It's kind of like a hit counter, if you will. To see those prospect matches, all you have to do is click on the link that says New Prospecting Matches to the left of the number. That will take you directly to where you need to be to see those matches. And then you can go through and you can see what's going on as far as any new listings or changes. So remember, kind of what you click is what you get in Tempo 5. Below that, it says searches expiring in 3 days. For those of you, again, that use the prospecting searches in Tempo today, you know when you set up a prospecting search, it goes for a certain time period and then it turns itself off from the auto run process. Well, we're going to still send you an email, but we're also going to let you know here, just as kind of like a second warning, if you will. And again, if you click on the link that says searches expiring in 3 days, that will take you to exactly where you need to be. And that point is all of your searches that are about to expire. So you need to go where you want to go. And you can now update or add more time to your prospects en masse. So if you've got 3 prospects expiring in 3 days, you can check the box that says check all, go down and say add the expiration date to all of these at one time, and you'll be able to update all those at one time. So for prospecting people, you get that. Find a listing below that. You can look up a listing in 2 different ways. One is the traditional MLS number search. Type in your numbers like you do today. Separate them by commas like you do today. And then you see a green arrow. Just remember, green means go. Click that, and you'll go and you'll see those numbers that you have typed in. The other option there, which I have highlighted, is the address option. And that way you can now, from your home page, go and type an address directly into those boxes, click the green arrow, and you can see the property that you want to look at. Again, it saves you the time of having to go into search and typing in the address, which is actually a couple of clicks. Here, type in the address, click the green arrow, and see what you want to see. And finally, below that, the inventory watch. This is another shortcut for you. This will display your inventory in 3 different ways. It'll display your personal inventory, your office inventory, and if you're part of a firm, it'll also display your firm inventory. So if you want to look at the listings that are in your office, let's say you're getting the call and somebody calls about a particular listing in your office, now you can either A, type in the address from this page, or B, change that drop-down box from personal to office. It will redisplay the number of listings in your office, and then simply click on the link that says active listings, and that will give you all your listings in your office. So again, it's another shortcut and an easy way to find information from the home page of the Tempo system. On the right-hand side of the screen, for the folks that use hot sheets in Tempo today, that's great. We now provide you a homepage hot sheet that you can set up, and you can save it so the moment you log in, you can see everything that's going on in the hot sheet world that you have set up. Remember, a hot sheet is areas, property types, and statuses. So once you tell it what areas, property types, and statuses you want, you can save that, and this list will appear on your home page, and as the day goes on, the numbers in red will grow as the activity becomes available. And again, all you have to do is click on the property type and the status, and guess what? You get to see your hot sheet activity. This will continue on throughout the day. At midnight tonight, it'll reset back to 0, and it'll start at a new day. So it's a today's current up-to-the-minute hot sheet on your home page when you log in. Speaking of when you log into the system, we all know that we have that message of the day that RSC posts that you're supposed to read every day. Just nod with me. That message of the day is still going to be there. That will be under the MLS tab. We also have a system tab. And then there's 2 additional tabs on the right which contain broker and office information. So if you're a broker in this room, now you can post information on the MLS system that will be visible by the agents within your particular firm. And as far as the office tab goes, that will allow an office to post information that only agents within that particular office will be able to see. So theoretically now you can do some communication directly through the MLS system versus sending out emails, text, or tweets, or whatever you do today. Now, again, that's hoping everybody logs in every day, but if they do, they'll see that information. The big change in Tempo is the look and feel of how you search. And what you're seeing right here is what we call the search form. And now when you go and you search for properties, you're going to do it in the form of a form. Now, the same search fields that you're used to are out down on the left-hand side. There's your prices, your bedrooms, your baths, your square footage. Everything is still there. The only difference is it's lined up on top of each other. So it's just a totally different look and feel, but everything works the same way. You start at the top, you go from left to right, read it as a sentence. You know, list price between this and this. Square footage between this and this. Area is this. So again, it's just filling out a form just like any other form you've ever filled out before. Fill it out, click the search button, and guess what? You get your search results. Now there's a form, and there's also a map search, which I'll show you in just a second. But before I get there, the form itself is very easy to fill out. You pick things from a list. Peggy will show you this in real time in just a few moments. On the left-hand side of the screen, the current criteria is displayed. So every time you type information in, it's going to be more or less written out for you on the left-hand side, so you can see exactly what you're entering on the right. Below that in the center, you see a button that says count, and mine says 25. You will now have a count button. So as you're adding your search criteria in and tabbing between field and field, the count button will dynamically change to show you how many listings that you're going to have in your search before you actually click the search button or the statistics button. So that's cool. I mean, that way you know before you actually click the search button. And then below that, where it says easy to add fields, the quick search and custom search as you know it today is now combined into one simple search. Either you use the form that's provided for you, which are the commonly used fields you use today, or if you need to add something unique into there, from this page you go to the left-hand side of the screen, just pick the field you want, move it over to the right, and then you can use it to search with if you need to. If you want to make a custom search, you just add the fields you want, delete the fields you don't want, order them up and down the way you want to, and just save them and give them a name, and that's how you create a custom search in Tempo 5. So custom search and quick search is now just plain search. You live with what we have, or you make it whatever you want it to be at that particular point. For those of you that use the map searching format in Tempo now, we have enhanced that a little bit. Notice there are multiple shapes you can now draw on the map. You can draw up to 5 shapes on the map at one time. So now if you want to search in 5 unique areas at one time, you can do that. You can mix and match your shapes if you want to. If you like drawing rectangles and squares, you can draw 5. If you like 5 circle radius searches, you can do that. We also have a polygon search, which allows you to draw up to 25 different points on the map, which means you could draw 5 25-sided shapes on the map if you have the time to do that. You can mix and match your shapes like I have if you want to, but the maximum number is 5. So you can be searching in 5 separate areas at one time, all going off of one base set of criteria. So again, that's a huge enhancement from the previous version. Your search results, again, it's a one-line display of your search results, and you can clearly see what they look like here. Pretty simple to view. The gray column headers that display things like the address and the price and the square foot. In Tempo 4, You cannot sort those columns. You can't move them around. In Tempo 5, all of the columns can now be sorted. So you can sort by price or by square footage or by bedrooms if you need to, from highest to lowest, lowest to highest. You can even do a multi-level sort where you can sort by one column and then by another column and then by another column if you want to. If you don't like the order the columns are in, you can just pick them up and drag them and drop them in any order that you want to. In fact, if you just don't like any of the columns that are there, you can change them and you can create your own columns. In other words, you can make your own custom reports so the information you want to see in the search results is the one that you actually want to see, not what everybody else is seeing. So if we have any appraisers in here, we have the 1004 MC form already loaded up as columns for you. And you can use that or you can change it around or do whatever you want to do with it. So you have the ability now to manipulate what columns you see in your search results. And trust me, it's a lot easier than a custom report is today in Tempo 4. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you see some icons once again. Big icons that lets you do a quick CMA, lets you download, get your driving directions and your mapping. Also on the right-hand side, you see your email and your print icon. Again, we've tried to make the system more intuitive and easier to find things, and the big icons on the bottom of the screen hopefully will help you do that as you navigate around the system. So if you can't find something, just look for it. It probably is on the screen. You're just not used to looking for it in the place that you always have in the past. Speaking of printing, for those of you that like to print out multiple reports for a particular listing or listings, in the old world of Tempo, you had to print one, go back and print the other one. Now you can select multiple reports at one time. So you click print once and whatever you send to your printer comes out at one time. You can also include the property history and the search criteria and statistics at the same time. So before everything was done one at a time, now you can mix all that together, click print once, and you can print everything out with just one click. So that's going to save some time. Plus, on the bottom of the screen, notice that you can save these reports as a PDF file if you want to. So now you can send things out as an attachment within some other email program. Save them as a PDF document. So again, that's built in. You don't have to have anything to do that. We provide that for you. The details page of your listing, the one that shows all of the information, the reports are almost identical to what you have today. So you shouldn't have to be playing Where's Waldo to try to find where something is on one of the reports. All of your reports are available in a drop-down list on the upper right-hand corner, so you can switch between your reports if you want to. And on the left-hand side of this page, you see a gray box, and there's a bunch of little links there. If you need to find more information about this listing, just pick the link. If you need the tax information, click Real List. If you need to see the attachments, click the attachments. If you want to see the property history, click the history button. So everything is nice and neatly organized on this page. Read about it, click the links to see more information if you need to, and click on the picture to see the photos. You know, what you click is what you get. The CMA program in Tempo has been enhanced. It is now a customizable presentation that you can create. The CMA is like a big puzzle. You add the pieces to it, walk through the steps, and when you're done, you get the completed puzzle or the CMA presentation. We have included many different reports in the CMA that you can use, things like cover letters, title pages, marketing plans, maps showing where all the comps are located. It's just like a whole big binder of reports that you can pick the ones you want to use, or you can remove the ones that you don't feel are necessary. Again, all you have to do is walk through the steps, and it will basically put it together for you based on the information that you provide for it. And then, of course, you can print it out as a PDF file again, or you can print it out, or you can email it to your client if you need to.